that I definitely want to concentrate on, who were right there, who said, you know, I get paid February 20th. Contact me then, or something like that. Somebody that's a little more down the road, and somebody that I have followed up with more times than usually the 10 that are a little bit more serious, you know? And then they have these three. Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry.
No, I love this. No, this is perfect.
Follow-up doesn't always mean talking about the business either. Following up is just anytime you reach out to that person. So
Yes.
I think a lot of times it gets ingrained in our head that following up is like, hey, you asked about the greens. Are you ready to try the greens? Do you want to try the greens? When would you like to try the greens?
Hey, are you ready to try those greens?
Yeah, and people are like, OMG, I need to block this girl. Like, she's a freaking, like, stalker. Get her away from me. And so, you know, if they haven't been responding, or if you haven't been getting quite the enthusiasm that you want out of prospecting them about the products or about the business, reach out to them about their own life. Look at their profile. What have they been posting pictures about? Did they just take a trip? Ask them how that was. Ask them how their family is. Just anything to get that conversation.
And definitely be like commenting, because the thing that you don't want is for them to totally forget about you.
Yeah.
Right? You want them to like see you pop up a lot. You know, you want to comment, like genuine comments on their pictures. And like Haley mentioned, if it's something, you know, that they just took a trip and you're like, oh my gosh, I saw you just went to Disney World. You know, I really want to take my kids there. What was your favorite part? You know, because, you know, I want to take my kid there, you know, and so conversations that will help them remember that you're still present. And then a lot of times what's going to happen is that when you ask about something else, they're going to scroll in their little messenger thread and they're going to see that. And then they're going to feel bad that they didn't respond to you. They'll be like, oh, remember how I wanted to try those greens? I still want to do that, but can I talk to you on the 10th whenever I get paid? And they're going to bring it up. That happens so many times, because then they don't want the awkward thing of like, I'm going to ask them, I'm not going to get asked about it. And so they're going to bring it up. Right. Exactly. So that's something. Hi, Miss Cadence. So they're going to.
I just had another thought while you were talking about that. Hang on. Sorry. Just a minute. It'll come back. It's somewhere in there. Keep talking. It'll come back.
Okay. Good. So then you're good. So then they, you know, kind of put the blitzing wrap parties and social media on here, because those are all things that kind of get the buzz going, get people talking, get you talking to other people, right? So I always put that ever since they started these kind of goal sheets for blitzing, I say every time I open my wallet, right?
I remembered.
Every time I open my wallet, then a blitz card should also be coming up. My debit card, blitz card, debit card, blitz card. Go ahead, Amy.
Can we circle back? I'm so sorry.
You do it, girl. No, circle back.
The other thing is, when you follow up, make it personalized. People hate getting cookie cutter, copy and paste messages. And this is just a personal pet peeve. If you use these messages and they work for you, great. I know. I am not opinionated at all. My biggest pet peeve is when people are like, hey girl, it just reminds me of those like Ryan Gosling memes that are like, hey girl, like they're just, I don't know, but I don't feel like they belong in Facebook Messenger. Like, it just drives me nuts. And you can tell when those people have just done the cookie cutter copy and paste message to like me and 50 other people. And I'm like, delete. That's what I do with those messages. Like, think about those messages you've gotten, you know, so make them personalized. I like to use people's names. Like, hey, Rachel, how's it going? You know, make it personal. And like Sheila said, integrate what they're doing in their personal life and then ask about the business. Because if you're like, hey, Rachel, are you ready to buy the greens yet? Like, that just seems like you just want money. Like, you just see dollar signs when you look at their picture, not like you actually care about them as a person. Anyway, that's all I was going to say. Sorry.
Yeah. No, you're good.
Squirrel.
And so for like wrap parties, I have people who were interested in having wrap parties, or we just did a bridal fair. And so I'm going to be following up with those people about wrap parties. So it's just kind of like a reminder to myself that, hey, this is on your list for this month, right? This is something you need to get done. And then for social media, it's about, remind you to post, whether I schedule posts or I need to make sure to post once, twice a day, personal, something about It Works, that sort of thing. And then at the bottom, and this is the favorite part, like you get to fill out when you have signed customers, right? So here's the customers that I've signed. And sadly, there's the distributors I signed, but there's going to be names going in there. And so that's the most, important thing. And then on the back, which is so awesome that they just started doing this, they have scripts for you. They make it so easy. And again, like Haley said, I wouldn't, copy and paste this and write this verbatim and blast it out to 150 people. I wouldn't do that. But
among other things, you'll get put in Facebook jail if you do that.
You'll get put in Facebook jail, which is bad.
I know from personal experience.
Yes. But, if you're just kind of like having writer's block and you're just having one of those days where you're like, I can't think of anything nice to say to this person, and I can't think of anything productive, and it's just one of those days, everybody has them. It's okay. Go to this. Let this kind of, refresh your memory, get you going again, and use these scripts. Then at the bottom, they have additional ideas to help you grow your business. These are really awesome to just kind of review, review your hundreds list. Have your family members wear an It Works shirt. So like, if I have a sister, hey, can you wear this, whenever you feel like it? And if you get asked a question, can you give them my card? Things like that we may not even like think of, but they have them on there. And so these are really good to just review every month and just kind of like, am I doing these things? Am I doing 1 through 15 to help my business grow every month, right? So that is the February goal sheet. Also, one of the other things when we're talking about scripts, there are scripts on the Epic page. And I think Kavina's on the Epic page now, right? Did we get her added? Okay. So if you go, it never really works on my phone, but on the computer, if you go to the Files tab on the SWD Epic page, there are a whole bunch of files, and there's a few scripts. And again, don't use verbatim, make them your own, but there's scripts for like different products that are product specific. There's scripts for just general LC. There's scripts for general DT, those sort of things. And again, that just kind of gets your juices flowing and helps you, get back in the game of connecting with people and sending messages and things like that. Go ahead, Haley.
Lori just posted a bunch about building online. She said, building online and don't know what to say. It was yesterday at 6:23.
Yes.
A ton of scripts and even like follow-up messages that you can send. And I just think that's a perfect example, because how many times do we get the initial message, but then they say something back and we're like, oh God, what do I say now? And so that is a great, I'm going to use some of those too. So
yeah, I saved that email.
And if you go to the search bar and you put an asterisk in there, asterisk, is that right? Asterisk?
The little star.
Did not sound right when I said that. Sorry guys, it's been a long day. I know, that's probably why. It will put them in time order. So from most recent down, so that way you can filter them a lot easier if you're searching for a post.
I never knew that. That's good to know.
Yeah.
And then whenever you're sending those messages, remember, and making your posts and blitzing, remember that posting is not asking. Like we can post and post and post, and then, we're all going to sit there and be like, nobody wants to join my business. Nobody wants any of our greens. That's because, you're posting, but are you asking? People sometimes need to be asked, and that's okay. If I would not have asked Haley, would she have joined? No. And so, and that's probably for a lot of us on here, or a lot of our team. If we would not have taken the initiative to ask, we want to be here. And so don't be afraid to ask. It's not something scary. If you get a, hell no, stay away from me, great. No problem. I love you. We'll see you later. It's okay. So just become that professional asker and kind of don't be afraid to do that. And then the other thing that I wanted to mention, 7 to 12, is a lot of times when we're posting too, it can get, if we have comments on there, it can get really kind of easy to write back a comment, but people are looking and people are watching you all the time. I mean, and I still, 4.5 years in this business, have people finally come to me and say, what's that thing that like rap thing that you do? What is that? They've been watching me for 4.5 years in this, right? And they're just coming around and saying that. And so but if I answer every single question and every single comment, they might find an answer, whether it's the one they're searching for or the one I don't want them to search for, kind of thing, in the comments. And so anytime anybody comments on one of my posts, I say, let me message you, smiley face, something like that. That way you can take it out, create that curiosity still in your posts, but then answer the questions and have that personal conversation with that person in a private message. So,
can I add something to that too? If somebody posts something negative or like really just, I don't know a better word than tacky in your comments down below, like if they're like, there is no way that works, or my friend's sister's dog tried that and it didn't work. Like
Haley, we don't test on animals.
Yes, no, we do not test on animals. But like if they post something negative, don't be afraid to just delete that, because people, like Sheila said, people are looking at that. They are just going to judge whether it's somebody that is reliable or, whatever.
Right.
I mean,
Right.
it's something that will keep other people from posting, whether it's true or not. And just, you don't need that negativity on your post anyway. So hide it, delete it, whatever you need to do, just get it off there.
Agreed. Okay, that's all I had about. Does anybody have any questions? I mean, don't feel like we are like talking at you or anything. I mean, unmute yourselves. And does anybody have any questions about the February goal getter sheet? I really like them. I know, I really like these. It really, because especially when your hundreds list gets to be a legal pad, long, hundreds list, right?
Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds lists.
This really helps me. Yeah, this really helped me to think about, who am I focusing on? Who do I really want? Who is my dream team for February, right? And so, does anybody else feel that way? How do you like them? Yeah? Okay, good.
This printout was awesome.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, corporate makes a lot of amazing things. And some of them I'm like, okay, well, take it or leave it. But I think this is really dynamite. I really do. I think it's just something really great to keep us organized. And it's one sheet. And I like that. I like that it's one sheet. So bonus is Haley.
I don't have a question.
Oh, yeah.
It's not a question, but when you guys were talking about the posting and stuff and following up with people, when I joined, I actually went to Rachel and was asking her about it. And I straight up told her, I was like, when I get my money, I'm coming to you and you're helping me.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Well, I mean, we go to the same school every day. So I rock my It Works. I talk about it. I show excitement. And then I had been messaging other PDTs, no responses. And all of a sudden I get this one from her. And she's like, okay, so kind of explain to me what you do. And I was like, what? And we have we have hit it off so well. We're totally gonna rock it this year. We're gonna rock it. So
awesome!
Super excited.
Those are the best surprises. That was Shanice too. Sorry, I went like this because on my street. You're right.
Just
we live in the same neighborhood. And she had seen a car with an It Works magnet. My car. And she only knew me from the street, right? Because our girls are the same age. And she messaged me and said, do you know who, does It Works? And I'm like, me. I do. Right? And so, I mean, that's why you just kind of got to live it, because I was living it. Like, right? I rock my magnet every day. It never comes off, not even in the car wash, right? It just stays on. And so because I was living this, you know, that's how she saw it. If I was not living it, she would have never seen it, you know? And so that's why you wear your shirt, you talk about it where you go, you have that $16 magnet on your car, you know? Like it pays to live it.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get down to how we're going to earn even more money in the coming months.
Money, money, money.
Money. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Can everybody see this?
Mm-hmm.
La, 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 la. Okay, so at conference, if you were not at conference, which I think several of you were, they announced new bonuses. And they are the Go bonus and the Go Fast bonus. So basically, corporate is giving us the opportunity to pick how fast we want to go to earn these bonuses. So let's say you are an executive or a Ruby right now. Good night. And you are going for Diamond. So if you would like to get that bonus in 3 months, you can earn $10,000. That is on top of your commissions, on top of your fast start bonuses, on top of your wrap cash, that $10,000. If you want to take 6 months to get to Diamond, you will get a $5,000 bonus. So you can kind of see as we go through the ranks here, the bonuses get bigger and bigger, and they are double if you do the Go Fast rather than the Go bonus. Also, if you get on that Wired app that we were talking about earlier, let me stop this real quick. Sorry, there we go. If you get on the Wired app that we were talking about earlier, they have videos on there with Mike Patillo explaining the Go bonuses and how they work. And there are specific dates on there. If you log in at the bottom of your Wired app, there is a little icon that says Go Fast, or Go Bonus, sorry, Go Bonus. And so it will give you a countdown of how many days are left. I don't know if you guys can see mine. How many days are left for you? Nope, can't see it. Okay. Anyway, it gives you how many days are left for your current bonus. And then there's a little trophy at the top that if you click that, it will bring down all of them for both the Go bonus and the Go Fast bonus, and the dates that you have to achieve those promotions by. So that was announced at conferences. And so in the spirit of that, Sheila and I, yay, there's Sheila's. Hers is much better. On mine is just too bright. So that's what it looks like on the Wired app. And you do have to log in on the Wired app to get this part. So that would be
I'll show you your circle.
Yep.
And your LCs, and then there's that little trophy. So here's what happens when I click on the trophy. I know you can't really read it, but it's like, you have until this date to get the Go Fast, and then you have until this date to get, you know, here's your Go lane is down lower, that sort of thing.
So Sheila and I both have earned 2 what they used to be called, gosh, what did they used to be called?
Good bonuses. Out of 10.
Wow. So sorry, guys. Did not do these after a full day of work. Good Lord. Okay. They used to be called good bonuses. So Sheila and I have each earned 2 good bonuses. I earned the Emerald and then the Diamond good bonus last year, and Sheila earned the Diamond and the Double Diamond good bonuses. So we were kind of putting our heads together and thinking about things that we learned during the times that we were going for those bonuses, and the things that we learned that we had to either stop doing or give up, and the things that we had to start doing that maybe we weren't doing before or weren't doing at the speed that we should have been doing them. And so we came up with a do's and don'ts of earning bonuses with It Works list. Okay? So, things that do not earn you good bonuses. Number 1 is watching other people. And that means your sidelines, your downlines, your uplines, whoever, you have to put those blinders on and you have to just focus on what you're doing. It is so easy. Hey, Molly. It is so easy to get wrapped up in that sort of competition of like, let's say somebody underneath the same upline, but like is sidelined to you. I had a sideline person that signed up under Sheila, like within a couple days of I did. And it was hard for me to watch her because she promoted a lot faster than I did. And I let that get in my head. I let that go, oh my gosh, like she's at Emerald and I'm only at Ruby. So she must be doing something more than what I'm doing. And then it became me trying to figure out what she was doing rather than me working my own business and doing the things that I knew would promote me further in the company. And so don't get distracted by other people's success or even other people's lack of success, because that can really pull you off course. So that was number one. Number two is don't get wrapped up in watching training after training after training with multiple leaders. There are so many great resources out there, but I think sometimes you can get wrapped up in making sure you have all the information instead of taking what you already know and learning as you go. And so sometimes that can be a distractor too from working your business, because it feels like you're doing something when you're gaining all this information, but it's not actively moving you forward towards your goals.
It's exactly what Kavina said at the beginning of this. The successful people, like, think about it. Successful people do, unsuccessful people think about it.
Yeah.
Right? It's just going out and talking. Like, it's just the do. It's just doing more of the do, if that makes sense. Mm-hmm.
Denise Walsh, she's one of our black diamonds in the company. It's the top rank that you can get. She always says ignorance on fire. And that is totally the most successful people. That's what they do. They don't sit around. They don't try to take in everything that they possibly can. There are so many people that we sign up that are like, well, I don't want to talk to anybody until I know more about the products, or I don't want to talk to anybody until I know more about the opportunity. And that is the biggest mistake that you can make, is sitting and waiting, because we have our hands on something that is amazing. And all you have to say to people, if you don't feel like you know, you can say, you know what, I don't know the answer to that, but I'll find out and I'll get back to you. Like, just admit it up front. And there are so many times that Denise Walsh has talked about saying to people, you know, I don't even know what I'm doing in this business, but I'm excited about it and I want to do it with you and we can figure this out together. Like, you don't have to have all the answers. You just have to be passionate and excited. And that's what's going to draw people in.
Yeah. Can I say something?
Of course.
Okay, so while you're talking, it really reminded me of the Zoom meeting with Lori and Quentin, and you just got to go for it, you know, focus and just go for it. Don't overthink it, you know, and that has been, I think, what I've done since I've been back from Florida, is just going for it and putting myself out there and just running with it, you know,
Yeah.
so.
Totally. Exactly. That's exactly the attitude you have to have. Okay. Number 3, Sheila already touched on this a little bit earlier, but only posting and not
the
asking.
reason why to get to corporate.
Yeah, exactly. You never know where those little nuggets of wisdom are going to come from. And I swear, even after 4 years, I'm constantly like, another One Team One Mission. How many One Team One Missions have I been to? But every single one, I learn something new or I hear a different story. And so it is so worth it to go. So, okay. Number 3, only posting, not asking, like Sheila talked about earlier. You have to ask. I always kind of think about it like, you know, seeing a billboard on the highway about a location versus stopping to ask directions. Like, the billboard kind of gives you the general information, but you don't really know until you actually physically stop and ask somebody. So you never know whether these people are, number one, seeing your posts, because as we know, Facebook filters out stuff with their algorithm. Number 2, they could be seeing it, but we're all busy. How many times have you been scrolling on Facebook and you're like, oh, I want to ask them about that? And then you get to scrolling again, or your kids come in, or something else happens, and you just forget. So you have to ask. You can't just post and then be like, I don't know. Nobody wants this company. Nobody wants these products. I don't get it. So posting is not asking. Number 4, this is super hard for me because I'm a Netflix junkie. But watching TV, Lori says all the time, there's no BV in TV. And I'm like, oh, it's fine. I'll just put it on and I'll work while the TV's on. It doesn't work. Maybe you guys are better multitaskers than I am, but I turn on the TV and the next thing I know, I'm engrossed in that show and I've only messaged one person in 2 hours. So you have to just schedule that time to do whatever, message people, follow up with people, send out those posts, like whatever you're doing. I'm a big believer in the power hour, even the power 30 minutes. So just set a timer, say it's going to be all it works for 30 minutes, and I'm going to sit down, no distractions, and I'm going to do this. If you have to break it into 15 minutes, break it into 15 minutes.
Right.
Whatever you have to do to make sure
Right.
that, all that. So number 5.
Wait. Yeah, whenever Haley and I were like going over this list and kind of, thinking back, the reason I knew that I was working harder than I'd ever worked, so I'm like a Real Housewives junkie, right? It's just something that I can like zone out to and not even think, right? I just kind of like escape into this world. And so I knew that I was working harder than I ever worked because I had every single week's episode DVR'd sitting there at the end of those months that I was really like busting it out, right? Like I had like 6 saved up and I was like, oh my gosh, I didn't even realize that I had all these saved up. Like I didn't even realize that I hadn't even been watching this because that was when I was working instead. And so It's true. Like record it. I mean, if you have to old school, get your VCR out and like put it in a tape and record it, set the record, do it. Like it'll be worth it later. They'll always be there. You can watch them on the internet.
Yeah, I have a Hulu account that anyone is welcome to use at the end of getting your diamond bonus. You are more than welcome to go back and binge watch whatever TV show that you have given up in these months. I will gladly give you my login information. Just putting that out there. Okay, number 5, signing people who don't want to work this business. I have been guilty of this. Sheila's been guilty of this. I think every single person who has ever done this business has been guilty of this. When you first start out, it is so easy to get overly excited about anyone who even remotely says that they will do this business. You are looking for someone who has $99.
Just to write names in those boxes and those charts.
Yes.
They got it in the box.
I've got 3 people from Ruby. And then, like in my case, it was my husband who didn't want to work this business, but was nice enough to say he would sign up. And my sister, same thing, had no intention of working this business. But I was like, I'll do it for you. Just sign up. Just give me your money and I will put people underneath you and I'll do it for you. Just sign up with me. And that was my like go-to thing. And then guess what? I still ended up having to sign loyal customers for 3 people. I had to sign distributors to build 3 people. And let me tell you, you get burned out super fast when you're working 3 businesses by yourself. It's not fun. And you don't move very far, very fast. You really don't. So it's much, much easier if you hold out for those people that actually want to do this with you and are passionate and are excited about it. Look for those things that you think a like top-notch distributor should have and then wait for those people. It's super easy when these bonuses come along to just look for anyone with a pulse and $99. But it's so much harder in the long run because then you have all these gaping holes because what usually happens is they don't work, they don't sign anybody, and then in 3 months, 4 months time, they quit and then you've got to replace them anyway. And so your chart's like zigzaggy instead of this nice flowy, chart because you're missing people in those different spots. Questions? Did I see somebody had a question? No? Okay, sorry. I thought somebody had their hand up. I don't know why. Sorry, I'm imagining things. Okay, and then number 5, making excuses for
That was my son. Sorry.
Oh, no, you're okay. I'm sorry. It was like my teacher vision. I was like, I see a hand. Sorry. Making excuses for why you're not progressing in this business. So I I had to look myself hard in the mirror last February. And here's exactly why. I went to conference 2 years in a row at the same rink, at the rink of Ruby. And that was a hard pill for me to swallow because nobody wants that. Nobody wants to sit there 1 year later and reflect on what you've been doing for the last year and find out you're in the exact same spot. It's hard. And so I had to look at myself and really reflect on why that was. Why was that the case? And I started thinking about it, and immediately those excuses came to my mind, and it was, well, I have 2 kids and I'm doing this and I have this and we've got this much going on and da 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 da. And it was like, no, that's not why I haven't grown my business. Like, look at Lori. She's got 4 kids that are going every which way. She's growing her business. Like, look at, I don't know, Nikki Clutter used to be in this. They had like 8 kids, and Jen Keller's got 8 kids. They're all working their business and they're a heck of a lot further than I am. So my kids shouldn't be my excuse. That's my why. That's why I'm doing this business. And so I really had to change that mentality in my brain. And so when it's going to be gut instinct, I tell you, when you first come across something that gets hard, your first instinct is going to be to make an excuse and to explain it away for why it's okay. And you've got to shut off that part in your brain and just tell yourself, no, I'm not going to use that as an excuse. I'm going to power through this and I'm going to get stuff done. Yes, I love that book. That book is amazing, Rachel. That's awesome. Okay, so now that we've talked about the don'ts, let's talk about what you can do to get these bonuses. So number 1, put on your blinders. What we're talking about are those like horse blinders, that racehorses wear. You can't look up, you can't look down, you can't look side to side. You got to work on your own business. That's what we talked about, watching others will deter you and watching others will distract you. And you just have to focus on yourself. You can't focus on, well, my sideline signed 5 people and they're going to be charted for double diamond and I'm sitting here at Ruby and why are they here and I'm only here? You've got to put those blinders on and just keep working your business. Number 2, everybody on this Zoom right now, and especially on this team, has the knowledge to go out and build their business. You don't need a YouTube video. You don't need a Facebook Live. You don't need a daily affirmation from Stuart Smalley to go out and work.
Trust in what you already know.
You guys are
really
all already
trust
have
in
it.
yourself and just show people that you are passionate and that you are loving what you are doing and that they are silly to not be on this adventure with you.
Yep.
Because you're going somewhere. Everybody is. Everybody on this Zoom knows and has what it takes to go places, right? And so you just have to trust in your knowledge and what you already possess and just like feed that into other people.
And be confident about it. If you're confident about it, they will be confident in it. If you have some sort of lack of confidence in the products or lack of confidence in the business, it's going to show and it's going to make them kind of draw back away from it. But if you're like, this is amazeballs, why are you not doing this with me? Like, you're a flippin' idiot if you don't join my team right this minute. They're going to be like, oh my God, like I should join her team. Like, what is wrong with me? Why am I not doing this? Why didn't I do this 5 months ago? And so you just have to have that attitude, even if that's not your attitude. Rachel, it has to be like that book. You are a badass. And I'm going to go out and I'm going to show people I'm a badass. Like, like don't actually like physically fight anybody badass, but like, have the mentality.
Yeah, because like reading this book and then just having the confidence, but it's like I just posted and showing people like when I'm at the school and they ask like how was Florida or how's Edwards doing, and it's just like I know I'm going to become debt free, not right now, but I am going to become debt free and I'm working very hard because it's going to happen. Yeah. That hope. And so I've been really trying to share that with everybody, either on a video, in person, on my post. And so, yeah, you just kind of fake it to make it.
Exactly. Yep, exactly. Okay, so number 3, become a professional asker. This kind of goes with that only posting, not asking. it will become so second nature to you to like bring up It Works and interweave it in your conversations that you will find yourself talking to the postman, the dog walker, the people across the street, the person who does your nails. Like you just kind of keep bringing it up. And once it becomes so second nature to you, you don't even have to think about it. It just starts coming out of your mouth. And it's just amazing. But you have to become a professional asker, because if you don't ask, the answer is always no. And you never know where your next Denise Walsh is going to come from. You never know where your next Stephanie Dunn is going to come from. You never know where your next Lori Conway is going to come from. And you could be passing that person in Target. You could be passing that person at the bank. And, you know, they could be booming to the top in the next 4 months, and you could be walking across that stage because you took 1 5-second chance to talk to that person about It Works. And that to me is always so mind blowing. It like almost overwhelms me when I think about that. I'm like, oh my God, I've got to go out and I've got to like populate the earth with It Works people. And like, just kind of makes me want to run out and start screaming up and down my street. Like, everybody needs to join It Works. So if that doesn't fire you up, I don't know what will, but okay. So there's my Go Team rah rah moment. Number 4. Like Sheila was saying before, DVR, Hulu, Netflix, TV will still be there. These bonuses won't be. So if you've got to, you know, read up for 5 minutes on the spoilers from the show last night to like get you through until bonus time, do that. That's what I did with The Bachelor. I was like, Reality Steve, that's where I'm going to. I read up through the rest of the season, totally fine, did not need to watch The Bachelor the rest of the time. And that's how I got my $10,000 bonus. Well, I mean, it wasn't exactly that easy, but that helped. And number 5, don't make extra work. Why work harder than you have to? That's where this like work harder, not smarter thing comes in. Don't sign up people that don't want to work. Don't sign up your second cousin's girlfriend's aunt just because they're like throwing you a bone and they say that they'll help you out. Like you've got to look for those people that actually want this business, because it will make your life so much easier in the long run. And then number 6, shut off your brain and just do it. Just do it. Stop worrying about not having the answers. Stop worrying about what people are going to say. Stop worrying about what people are going to think, and just go do it. It sounds way oversimplified, but really that's it. Just do it. Just do it. Okay, so there's my little do's and don'ts. All right, we were going to talk about charts real quick. Did you want to start with that, or do you want me to? Little?
Little. Go ahead.
Little what? Okay, gotcha. Okay. Un poquito, por favor. Don't laugh at me, Adriana. That was like horrible, horrible Spanish. Okay, so charting. It is really easy, especially when you look at that diamond chart, to get overwhelmed. And it's like, holy million boxes, where am I going to find all these people? Here is the one thing that Lori and Quentin said about a year ago, I think it was a year ago, maybe it was 2 years ago, that really helped Sheila and I out when it comes to charting. You have to break your charts into rubies. So you have your executive, then you have your ruby. Once you yourself go ruby, then your next goal is to help other people go ruby. And if you just keep building rubies over and over and over again, I think they said it was, 54 rubies to ambassador? 54
rubies for ambassador.
Yeah. So
like that makes this sound less scary, right?
It does, yeah. It's not,
you know, that little chunk of 5 people.
Yeah.
And so we all know 5 people that want to make extra money, right? And so if you think in terms of 5 people, I just need 5 people.
5 at
I
a
need
time.
5 people here. I need 5 people here. I need 5 people here.
Yep.
Like it makes it so much more attainable and kind of easier to think of. So that's why, you know, even if you are printing out your diamond chart, like I always say, print out your ruby chart too, because we just want to like think in rubies, because rubies are everything. 2 rubies make an emerald, 3 rubies make a diamond. what, 7 rubies, something, make a double. And so,
5.
5? Yeah.
Five.
See, I'm making more work. So, you
It's
know,
okay.
you just think in rubies, it makes it a lot more clear. It just seems like, okay, I can do this. I can think in 5 people instead of, oh my God, there's 24 boxes on my diamond chart. Where do I even begin?
And you
So,
can start people thinking of that right away when they sign up. You can print them off a Ruby chart and you can say, okay, who is your dream team? Who are the 5 people that if you could have anybody in the world that you know join your team, who would those 5 people be? You have them write those names in the Ruby chart, and that immediately sets them laser focused on those 5 people to start filling in those names in their Ruby chart. And if you do that with every single person that you sign, you're going to be popping rubies left and right, like nobody's business. The other thing with charting is if you go into your eSuite and you go into the reports tab, there is a report that is called Tree Viewer. That is the one that Sheila and I always use to chart because it will show you, like, it has a number next to every single name. So like I am in Sheila's top line, so there's a 1 next to my name. And then Shelby is under me. So Shelby would have a 2 next to her name. And then Molly is under Shelby. So next to Molly's name for Sheila is a number 3, and so on and so forth. And so that very easily shows you where people are placed and where your organization is at as your team starts to grow. You know, when you only have 1 or 2 people, it's not really a big deal. But when you get up to like 30, 40, 50 people, then you kind of start losing track of where people are. So that is very helpful when it comes to charting and just figuring out where your different rubies are and where your emeralds are and so on and so forth. Okay, Sheila, you want to finish it up with quick tips for signing distributors?
yes. So on our two Zooms ago, I mentioned these, but I wanted to recap because right now, since everybody's running, you know, for the bonuses, then this is something that I wanted to bring back. So 5 quick tips to signing distributors. The first one, realize that you don't have to be making a ton of money to be successful in this business, right? So even if you get that $25 wrap cash, $25 is a lot of money, right? If somebody would give me $25 every week, heck yeah, I'd be happy. That's a tank of gas, right? That's my gas money. And so every time you have those small successes, tell people about them, post about them, show those small successes. Number 2, KISS. Keep it super simple. And again, at conference, they ran this home. They really did. Keep it super simple. Don't overdo, don't overthink, don't oversay anything about this business. Keep it simple and only answer the questions that your either PLCs or PDTs ask, right? We don't want to, word vomit on them and give too much. Like, just keep it simple. It's okay. Answer those questions. They'll come back with more. Answer that one. Come back with more, right? Keep that conversation going.
And let their questions
3.
drive the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Right. The next one, focus on that like $300 to $500 a month, right? Like they say that 3/4 of everyone we know is secretly struggling, and $500 a month can be the difference between foreclosure, getting your car repossessed, losing lots of things at $500, right? And so it's easy to say, hey, come make $10,000 with me, right? When these bonuses, but sometimes that's really hard for people to even grasp that we have a company that is giving bonuses like that away. And so they're like, I could never make like a $10,000 bonus. But if you say, I can help you make $300 to $500 a month, would that help you? Would that help your family? Right? Think of something that seems more attainable to them.
And believable. A lot of people hear the $10,000 bonuses and they're like, oh God, that's a scam. There's no way that they're giving away that much
Nobody
money.
earns those.
Yeah.
And 4, ask your potential distributors these 3 questions. How much money would you want to be making with It Works? How much money? Because then you're going to come back and they're going to say a number. So say $500, right? And so you're going to come back and say, so you're going to let $99 stop you from making that $500 goal every month, right? Because there's a lot of people, that's kind of the hang up, is that $99 and wondering if it's worth it, what's going to happen. Am I going to lose my money? Is this a big scam? That sort of thing. And so ask them what their number is. And then ask them, what's the worst thing that can happen, right? What's the worst thing? I mean, the worst thing that, I mean, they'll maybe think about it is that the wraps don't work. I spent $99 on nothing. I failed. Nobody's interested. And you're going to come back and you're going to say, yeah, those really suck. But what's the craziest thing you've spent $99 on? I know I can think of a whole list of things that I've spent $99 and more on that, you know, either I just went past through my system because I ate $99 worth of something, or, you know, I have $99 worth of something in my closet that I wore once. I have lots of that, you know? And so, but what did I spend $99? A business that changed my life, that changed my family's life. Right? And so that's when you're going to say, what's the best thing that can happen? Always end with the best. What's the best thing that can happen? The wraps work. I'm successful. I bring home my family. I get to stay home with my babies. My husband gets to retire and rewire, right? What's the best thing? Create that vision and put them in the business and create that vision of what It Works can do for them and what It Works can do for their family. You know, you have to show them that picture, paint that picture of what it can do for them. And then the last one is start with your why. You know, Haley mentioned that, you know, her boys are her why. And if you've seen my story, you know, at first my why was like, pay off my school loans. What? That's great. But then that wasn't really a strong why because I wasn't doing anything. And then I had my daughter, and then I, you know, went through all these struggles, and that became my why. And that was what finally pushed me over the edge years into this business to actually work it like a business, right? It's because my why finally became strong enough that I wanted to do something for it and about it. And so find out their why. Ask them, why are you talking to me? Why are you interested in this business? Because once you can make those heart connections and you tug at their heartstrings, that's what's going to push them over the edge of being afraid to finally wanting to do something, right? So you have to start with those whys.
Can I add something real quick? Sorry.
Go ahead.
At a One Team, One Mission that we were at, Dree and Chad Kneller were talking about objections. And the 3 words that they use to respond to an objection is feel, felt, found. And it's, I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. What I found was blah, blah, blah. So if they say, you know, I don't know anybody that would want to buy these products. I understand how you feel. I felt the same way. But what I found was this actually is very appealing to new moms, or, you know, lots of people like our different products, or the greens have helped my entire family. You know, tell them some personal tie-in with that to kind of approach that. And if you approach it that way, it sounds less defensive and like you're relating to them.
Yeah. So I know that we are like running out of time, and I know everybody has tons of important things to do or go to bed. It's like 10 o'clock for Adriana. So after you sign DTs, this is from conference, but I thought it'd be a really good reminder. So we said these things, we used our quick tips, we used our follow-ups, we asked, not just posted. And so after you sign your distributors, these are the 10 things that you want to do. Download the Wired app, have them download that Wired app, because that'll get them connected, that'll get them plugged in, it'll send them reminders for the calls, things like that. Have them log into their eSuite, make sure you have an auto ship, and that they do their training under the It Works U, right? Those 2 things. If you can, purchase some It Works gear. Purchase one shirt, right? And if you wear it 4 times a week and it's dirty, it's okay. Febreze it, who cares? Like, move on, put on extra deodorant, perfume, whatever you got to do, wear that thing out, right? Because you're living it, live it, because people are going to ask you all the time, what works? Like, how many times are you at the grocery store and they're like, what is that? What works? And I'm like, let me tell you about it, right? And so, like, wear that thing out, wear it until it like is light gray in color and it started out black. Right? So purchase your gear if you can. Did you get that? Number 5, create your hundreds list. I mean, you guys saw my hundreds list. Have them start writing down those names. So what I always tell my new people is you go to that friends tab in Facebook where it shows you your hundreds of friends and you just start writing down names. Write down some names, right? We got to get some names on paper.
And don't
do the same thing
prejudge.
with your phone contacts. Yeah, don't prejudge. I write down names. Names. Number 6, your steps to success. It's easy. This is what we do. This is what we print out every month. This is what we follow. Don't make it hard. Steps to success, right? Auto ship, talk to people about the products. They start as customers. Talk to people about the business. They start as distributors. Just make it simple. 7, schedule that launch party. Everybody should have a launch party. If the person is not within driving distance from you, you can Zoom it, you can Skype it, you can have an online party. You know, Haley and I are always willing to do Zoom and Skype parties for whoever. Like, call on one of us. If that's, you know, not your niche, we'll totally help you. Let us help you. 8, announce on social media. You know, make that like bold announcement that, hey, I'm here. Like, I got this really cool thing. You know, come see me, that sort of thing. 9, get on events and hop on corporate calls. It is so easy to just like forget that every Sunday night is a corporate call. But there's something that happens when I listen to that 15-minute corporate call and I'm like, okay, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to start my week. I'm ready to follow up with people. I'm ready to like get back in this. It's just their excitement on that call. And so, you know, and that's what's really great about the Wired app is it's all right there now. So corporate events, corporate calls. And then the last thing is send out personal messages. And these should be something like, I just started this awesome business. I'm looking for somebody who's going to be really honest about opinions to do, you know, try one product a month for 3 months. Can I count on you for your support? You know, something short to just, you know, say, can I count on you for your support? Because then they're going to come back and say, yeah, I would, you know, I mean, nobody's going to be like, no, deuces, you're on your own. Like, no friend or family that you're going to send that message to is like, no, I'm not interested in supporting you. You're going to 3 months, right? Because you want your customers ASAP. So those are my 10 things to do.
Sounds good. And a great follow-up in case you do get
Freeze? Did I freeze?
Yeah, you froze. It's okay. You're like, at least on my computer. A great follow-up to if you do get a person that's like, no, I don't think that's for me or whatever, is to say, I completely understand. Thank you so much. Do you know anyone who might be interested? And then that way it branches it out and they might be like, oh, well, my sister might be because she's trying to lose weight, or my son might be because you know, whatever. And so it kind of opens it up and it takes off the pressure of, oh God, I have to buy something, or, you know, them feeling pressured. So
Right.
that's always kind of my follow-up if people are like, no, I don't really think I'm interested. I'm like, okay, no problem. So, all right. Any
Okay.
questions?
Can I take a picture real quick? Can
Yeah.
I take a screenshot? Okay. If you want to smile, that'd be great. Okay. Love you guys. Smile. Perfect.
Okay. Perfect.
Thank you.